Hi guys, lycheepunnet again, back with wkim, SecretNinja, and Katsu to kind of recap Cinderella Girls.
This is
We
for the
came
people
fresh,
who doesn't
yeah,
want to watch 2 hours of video.
so we all came fresh off the set review. So if you don't quite understand what we're talking about, you're gonna have to go watch the whole thing and give us more views on YouTube. Yes.
So my first thoughts on the whole set is that like it's an overall solid set. It just doesn't stand out as like particularly broken. It feels super duper fair, and when their meta is full of unfair decks, it just doesn't feel like it's doing enough.
It's got a whole bunch of really good utilities and a lot of effects that a lot of other series wish they had, but then it fails to have the top end of a lot of those series that wish they had the utilities.
Yeah, and I think what gets by right now more than anything else is the oppressive top end just wins you games right now.
Exactly. A lot of decks are just durdle, get resources until level 3, at which point you kill the opponent.
I yeah. So that's my opinion on Cinderella Girls. I just feel like it doesn't have enough of a strong enough top end that doesn't just dirtle forever to say that I could
Mm.
possibly say it's like a top tier set. If we're using our silly tier list that invoked so much controversy, A minus is the highest I could put it.
Yeah, it's A
I
minus.
I
I
would
think
put
it
it at A. I put it at A.
A.
I,
Yeah,
I
I
think
think it's
that
very
That's
good against
fair.
it's very good against the sets that are not named Nisekoi and
To
To Love
love brew.
Brew.
assuming your opponent is good, then I agree. But if you're playing against someone who's just not great at Weiss, then this set can really punish your opponent very badly. Like you can get to this is like a better version of Girlfriend Beta Red Blue if your opponent sucks. But if your opponent doesn't suck, then it's a far worse version.
Yeah, Red Blue at least has a top end that's like worth mentioning.
Does it?
Restander.
All right, good.
I don't like Pumpkin, but that's like a personal preference. Pumpkin's easy, but
Pumpkin's the
Restander is
most broken
better.
finisher.
Pumpkin is
Um,
easier, Restander is better. Like that's all I gotta say on that matter. But like
so what color combinations are you looking to build if you were on
yellow
this
blue.
yellow
Yellow
blue?
blue. Yeah.
I
You,
think
you have
yellow
different
blue.
options.
I think yellow blue is probably how you would make it, and I would be leaning very heavily towards blue
Yeah,
in
blue is
that
definitely the
particular.
the core of the whole deck for me.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yellow has some of the good plussing engines at level 0, some of the good utilities. Um,
Also,
what
like
else? It's got a filtering brainstorm.
yeah, I feel like most of your level zero lineup in most builds of this deck, regardless of what colors you choose to focus on, are going to be very heavily leaning on yellow. But
Only because of the Ricky.
because there's Ricky,
Yeah,
because there's anti stuff,
anti-runner.
anti runner, and an actual runner, those are both good cards just to
Mhm.
splash for.
I'm wondering if it's worth playing the 2/3 counter, the 2/3 not anti damage, the tap counter.
My problem with that counter is that then you have to run like enough red cards to make it reliable, and then I'm already like, I'd rather not run red.
I'm just wondering if there are actually any good level 0 red cards other than the brainstorm. I'm looking through
I can't
very
recall
briefly.
anything that like made
There's
that's
this there's the stupid neat which taps and doesn't
Thousand
untap for a
that does
Metal.
turn.
not count because like if you wanted to run that, I'd sooner run the tap to assign 2K power that's like grabs me climaxes. Honestly, that's like
Which
the
is a yellow card,
yeah,
yeah.
the thing that comes down to is like all of these back rows that are like kind of interesting, they tap themselves to do things that are like okay, but then you could also just tap another card
Well, you
if you
don't have to
don't need to
tap on. You
brainstorm.
don't have to tap Anzu. She's still a global 500.
I guess, but like her
Uh,
not untapping means that like if you do somehow find yourself in an awkward situation, you can't even attack with her if you
Well, you
use their
play
pump.
over her. Get rid of the dumb Nate.
No, but what if you're like like if you're awkwardly locked level zero where you needed to push your back row up as an attacker because you just have nothing else playable in your hand, and that does happen, but you had to use like the 0/0 tap effect the previous turn, you're gonna be kicking yourself. Like I've had that happen to me where I needed to push back rows forward. That's like not an unfrequent thing, you know?
That's pretty common.
It's a pretty common thing, and this card prevents you from having that option in the first place.
Yeah, no, I guess that's a reasonable argument against it, but I think the tap count is a strong enough effect to warrant playing something mediocre.
Yeah, yeah. The counter is very strong.
I like
yeah.
the tap counter a lot. I
Again, it's a lot better when your opponent doesn't know how to play against it. So just never playtest this deck against anybody,
I
Yeah.
and
like.
then bring it to regionals and top because your opponents don't know what tap counters
Or
do.
like you're against Nisekoi in a situation where they have to restand,
Well, they
but they
have
don't
to.
have enough stock.
It's like probably
So
one of like the funniest things though. Like it actually can like completely hose Marika
If they don't attack with
if
Marika
if
first,
they don't attack with Marika first, which is
which you
important.
should.
And if you have the stock, you should just attack with Marika first. There's like
yeah,
no
but
reason
sometimes you
not to.
can't.
But to be fair, like the deck already can hose Marika with, well, not hose, but like make it a lot less punishing by just running the sack counter anyways, which costs the same amount of stock.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. I think yellow blue is still going to be the dominating build, even though yellow red somehow topped Osaka.
I don't understand what Japan does sometimes.
It was like a near max rarity build, so he probably just ran off the flow that he garnered from having a week one max rarity build.
But that said, like I feel like even like one or two of the Jupiter counter clone is like fine if you wanted to like have some sort of survivability counter. If you're not, the thing
I
is
mean,
like
I'd run more than that.
the thing is like you have so many good counters that you could be running. You have the Jupiter counter, you have the 1/1 scry counter, you have the sack counter. There's a lot of counters that you want to be running just to like
Yeah,
get
there's
the
a
extra
very,
utility.
very good counters in this
And the
set, which is
problem
very
is
weird.
you gotta like cut off like how many counters am I gonna run in my deck, right? Like,
That's fair.
am I gonna run four?
Chunks.
Am I gonna be index and run six? Like,
It could be
No,
very
that's
much,
a
yeah.
fair argument. Yeah.
because like the more counters you run, the fewer actual impactful characters you have to attack with.
In this set, I have to agree because a lot of your plussing engines will die on the turn afterwards.
Because like you're not using counters in the set to save things. That's because your characters are
Yeah.
just too small.
Yeah, you have to. It's the same reasoning. I don't run counters in my little Busters deck because cards are freaking tiny.
What are you
I
gonna
don't know why.
save?
Why do people run counters in that deck? Like, you can't save anything at level one.
Like counters are good in two lover because like 8K is actually a problem for some decks. Like that's a relevant power level.
Mm-hmm.
But like it all comes down to in two lover when your worst card is a 1/0 6500 vanilla. Like
Yeah, I agree.
what do you do? But
Mhm.
my opinion on Cinderella Girls is like it's a solid set. There are no like glaring weaknesses or incredible strengths. It does a lot of things. The only reason why I feel like it's in A tier, I think it's A minus still, is because
Yeah,
it
that's
has
fine.
absurd amounts of utility. Like it does a lot
Does
of.
it? I don't even
It
think it
has
has
a
absurd amounts of
okay. It
utility.
doesn't have
It
like
just
absurd amounts
has,
of utility. It has good utility, which is the point.
yeah, it has utility other sets don't have.
Exactly, and the utility alone can get you there. But my concern for Cinderella Girls is going to be, how do you kill someone reliably?
Ranko,
I said reliably.
Ronco, then you
pray.
have the restart.
Yeah, there's
Pray
like
is
either
not
yeah.
what.
Pray to the demon lord like Ranko does, and then your soul will integrate with your cards and,
I,
and
I can't I can't I
stuff.
can't I can't like in good conscience justify running unreliable combos. And
Yeah, there's the Ronco combo you can
what
run.
is this? This is coming from a dude who runs what's the most unreliable thing I run?
Gigant shooter.
No, that's like super reliable.
But what if you check three climaxes in a
I
row?
+3 anyways, and then I 3 stock encore and go again.
Wait, you plus three even if you check a climax?
Because the climax trigger.
No, no, I. Oh, that's true, I guess.
There's only books and gates. I can't not plus.
Well, yeah, the minus there is that you die to turn afterwards.
Well, it's gonna die the turn afterwards anyways, and I just I died the
guess
turn
that's
afterwards
fair.
anyways. Like it's just like this is how I live, but like it's not unreliable. I always get my plus. It's just like, is it the plus I want?
Yeah, fair enough. It's never the plus you specifically want. You
Well,
can't
I
pick
can't
that.
choose except when I trigger a gate. But I mean, like,
Mm,
there are unreliable combos that exist, and you can choose to run. But like, I feel like in the grand scheme of finishers, like, its finishing lineup is super underwhelming to me.
so what does it have? It has Yamato Kai.
It has Yamato Kai, which is whatever.
It has Deketate, whatever, which is its own deck and questionable. It has the come and
Its
play
own
check
Dekitate.
top burn one.
It
Um,
has the Ronco, which is mill 5, burn X, where X is number of climaxes you milled. And then you
and it
have
has
the
Anastasia, which is a
Anastasia, which lets you get a
climaxless
1-0.
extra attack.
Double attack.
So, like, there are a couple of okay options, but, like, none of these options scream, I am going to kill you.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
Or
I prefer
alternatively,
that.
you could just go Turbo Fog at
Yeah.
level
If you want to
50.
Yeah.
top for
Like all
days,
those,
but my issue, again, with, like, that game plan is that when, and this might be, like, me, again, we're talking about, like, things that we went over in the last time we complained about Two Lover. But, like, Two Lover being such a ridiculous deck right now, it's like the scrying effect becomes substantially less effective.
Yeah,
Wait,
it gives you a better chance to survive the Yami than most.
are we talking about the
Oh
the
wait,
climax
this is
reshuffle?
relevant. This is
Yeah,
relevant.
the
Wait, wait.
climax shuffle.
It says when you
Uh,
take
and the
damage, right?
Kayade.
Yeah, yeah. So every
So
instance of
every
burn
instance of the
for
shot
Yami.
will still get you a scry. That's relevant.
oh, you're
Yeah.
talking about the blue one, the 3/2
Yeah,
massive
so
in
you
the
have
center.
basically the idea of the deck is to have the Kaede in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and then have the two yellows, the
To
two other
shuffle the
yellows on the
climaxes
Right.
side.
back in.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah, and
playing
then you
like
shuffle climaxes,
you're trying to
then
play like
shuffle.
a super duper defensive deck where you try not to die
I
while trying to
guess.
kill your opponent. But the problem is like you're increasing the odds, but the odds are still not going to be great.
What does that do against decks that clock kick?
You die.
Well, you get huge.
Well, you have 14k in one slot, and that's as big as you
That's
get.
not big enough to stop most decks that clock kick.
Well, you also get to
That's
run
true.
3k counters, I guess.
Well,
Sack
that's fair.
counter your,
So like
your guys.
17k minimum, not counting back roads. If
Do
you're
have
running,
sack counters, I guess.
like if you're running level
I don't
assist
know.
too, you can get to 20k, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose that sure you're turbo fogging, but just like turbo fog, you're not actually killing them. And in a game where milling them out is a viable strategy, I'm really not sure turbo fog is the play.
Okay, we're playing tutelage, boys.
No, you'll eventually kill them.
Well, yeah,
Let's
Like-
go
like
play
Toodles
Charlotte.
Woods.
the answer is like the thing is like it's like turbo fog where every single attack can still go in because it's not actually turbo fog. Like turbo fog
Yeah,
says
of
I can't
course.
take damage, but like this is like if every attack was a wild slash with ferocious.
Yeah, of course. I'm still not convinced that's going to be enough to stop anything except specifically Yami or like specifically triple Musashi decks. And even then, you need to hit level 3 first, because otherwise you'll be at like 3/5 and
I don't even think like it stops Yami particularly well either.
does okay against it. More than most decks. You can't get
It gets
3/0'd.
really awkward if you're actually on a low card deck. If you have like 15 cards in your deck and there are 3 climaxes, that's not good. That's when it's like really awkward. You're gonna
Well, yeah.
die anyways because you can scry it all
But
to the
that's
bottom, but like you're gonna take
No, no,
all
no.
the
It's
damage anyways.
No, it's
they're all
discard,
mills.
isn't it?
It's
They're
all mill?
mills. Yeah,
The
it's all
mills, yeah.
except for the counter is
The counter is top or bottom.
Right.
So it's
But
still
sure.
RNGesus, but like,
But that's more Yami than this.
well, Yami is
effect
just special
bad.
fucking bullshit.
Yeah. So yeah,
Ugh.
I think that mostly blue is the way to go with this deck.
Yeah,
You've got the Jupiter counter, you've got a YOLO finisher, you've got Azusa, you've got a Brainstorm. Then yellow gives you Ricky, gives you a runner, maybe gives you a support. I don't
Yeah.
know, it seems fine.
I think-
If a good player can make it work, but a good player can make most things work, so that's not really an argument for it.
yeah. I think it's okay. I mean, like,
You know, like, don't delude yourselves into thinking that just because you made a deck win once or twice or 3 times, that it's a great deck. It just means that you're a competent player.
hashtag Gigant Shooter.
Gigant Shooter's fine.
Gigant Shooter is not as good as this deck,
Yeah, you're probably right, it isn't.
except for
This deck is
Kirito as
fine.
being absurd.
Yeah, like, it has ways to manage its resources, it has ways to be conservative, ways to be aggressive,
It
and it can
has
punish
a
bad play
lot of
from your
sauce.
opponents.
It has a lot of solid costless cards, which is
Yeah,
good.
which is always a good thing. But don't fool yourselves into thinking this is a better set than like Nisekoi or To Love Brew or Girlfriend Beta or even Original IMAS, to be honest. I think Original IMAS is still better than this because it has stupid finishing combo.
It has a really
Yeah.
ridiculous top end.
Yeah, if you still think that level 3 Haruka in Original IMAS is an unviable combo, I'm not entirely sure what to say to you. I'm sorry for your loss.
Or even the new green clock kicker that they got is very good as well.
Yep.
Iori's not bad either.
Gets big.
Does anyway, ending best three cards in the set from each of you.
The Ronco, the Ricky, and I'm gonna go to the anti-runner stock bomb because a lot of decks kind of clutch on runners right now.
That's interesting. Katsu.
I'd have to say the Ricky. I'm gonna have to say the stock bomb too,
Wow.
and
All right.
then the 2-1 Yuko because she's best girl.
That's fine. I've said stupider things. I don't get to actually call you out. And Secret Ninja, you want to say something?
Yeah. I'll probably go for like some of the as a newer effect stuff. I think the Minami level 1 combo is pretty good. Probably
Yep.
the main level 1 you want to run.
Yes.
The Climax Salvager is also a very interesting newer type of effect, especially on a level
Mm,
0,
I don't think it's a
guaranteeing
new.
your.
It's not really a new type of effect. It's just new on level 0. I don't
Yeah.
even know
Yeah, I
it's
think it's
new
new
on
on a
level
level 0. I
0.
think there's
Hmm.
some other cards that have that, but yeah,
There's
as a level
definitely
0, it's
separate
very
ones.
solid. And then I think the other really good card, um, it's probably level 3 option is probably Ronco.
Mm,
Obviously, there's the turbo fog stuff I mentioned, but it's not
yeah,
as
no,
good as
that's fair.
just finishing your.
It's all about like yellow. Gotta kill them.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna build that turbo fog deck just cause, but
Oh my god.
just to be funny. But yeah, it's probably not the option you want to go to.
Mm,
Probably the Ronco is probably the best level 3 in the set.
yeah, that's fair.
Unfortunately.
I'm gonna be really boring, and I don't think any of the level 1 plus cards are super amazing. I think the best card in the set is probably um probably the Ricky. It just gets what you want. So Miria Kagi, I think was her name.
Yes.
Yep.
Next best card is almost definitely the Azusa. There's just no
All
question. Rin
right.
Shibuya. Yeah, like I'm not entirely sure why you guys ignore that card, but to each their own. And the third best, I'm not actually sure what the third best card would be. I kind of want to say one of the brainstorms, but I don't know which brainstorm would be better.
Search one I think is better in this context.
I'm
Uh,
not 100% sure about that because
there's
Salvage
argument for the
Brainstorm,
salvage because you mill yourself for.
the Salvage Brainstorm just by itself is a stronger effect than the search ability, and I don't know if being gettable by Azusa is that much better. It probably is, who knows. So I guess I just have to say the only green card in the set. Just
Ugh.
kidding, I'm Lord Borden for life. This green bullshit is just a stupid fad. It'll pass.
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna get back to
Um,
statistics soon enough.
yeah, of course. I want to say the 1-1 counter because I'm just a sucker for that particular counter. But that's almost complete. That's almost definitely incorrect. So I will just say the blue brainstorm.
Okay. So those are our videos for CG. Lots and lots of videos.
Yeah, if you guys haven't watched them, then have fun watching them. If you have watched them, then I'm sorry you had to suffer through all of that.
Don't be sorry.
Wouldn't they rather be playing Love Live School Idol Festival?
Oh God.
I'm being as much of a jackass as I can, yes, but that's nothing new. So yeah, I think that wraps up our review on this set. Like all modern sets, it is perfectly serviceable. A minus A minus A tier if you really want to get to the nitty gritty, but it is a set that you can win with, so you have no excuses if you keep losing to your friend's Bakemonogatari deck. That just means you're bad.
Or he is
Um,
the luckiest man alive.
or if he's got a maxed rarity Bake deck and is just the god, then okay, but you're still bad because you're losing to Gatorade. Um, yeah, I think that's all I want to say. Anyone else have closing thoughts?
Nope.
OGI mass is better.
I agree. It is.
Yeah, I think CG has room to grow. Definitely, it's going to get another set
Yeah, it's
for
It's
definitely
sure.
basically Love
set.
Live. It is basically Love Live.
Yeah. So in terms of as a first set, it's solid. It has your base requirements to be
Mhm.
a solid set.
Get
It's
your
And
much
Riki,
better
definitely,
than Love Live's first set. I'll say that
get
much.
your Rikis quickly before they go up in price.
They're already
yeah, and
two
it
four
definitely,
eighty.
yeah,
Are they really
definitely.
going to go up further? Sorry, man. We keep interrupting you.
Oh no, it's okay. But yeah, yeah, it has room to grow. Level threes are for sure probably get better over time. Uh,
Hmm.
I think it just needs a better level 3 game, and then maybe a more reliable level 1 combo.
Maybe
I don't
set
know
2 will
about
focus
reliable.
on
It just
that.
needs a better one. Mm. Yeah, no. I think that'll do it. So, yeah, thanks for listening and tune in next time for
Charlotte.
Charlotte in
Oh
a few weeks'
boy.
time.